We take a look back and give you some history. The Dodgers franchise founded in 1884. They've won 23 National League pennants, 6-time world champions. And they took care of the Milwaukee Brewers. And for the Red Sox, founded in 1901, they are no stranger to this position. This is only hard to believe that with all that history, this is only the second time that these two franchises have met in the World Series. The Dodgers were known as the Brooklyn Robins back then. The Red Sox had taken on that name. They started as the Americans, and now as you look at the infield and Chris Sale and who's coming up for the Dodgers, we'll give you our starting lineup. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, it's brought to you by Bright House Financial. Top three, a little different look tonight for Dave Roberts, Brian Dozier, Justin Turner, David Freese. In the middle, it's Manny Machado, Chris Taylor, and the DH, Matt Kemp. And the back end is Kike Hernandez, Yasiel Puig, and Austin Barnes does the catching. He bats ninth against the left-hander Chris Sale. And as you said, John, in the opening, when he is on, he's got no-hitter type stuff every time he steps on the mound.
Yeah, he really does. The challenge for the Dodgers is going to be, how much do you want to see of Sale before you get aggressive? Meaning, is he rusty? Can he throw strikes? Do you want to get to 2 strikes? And I think for the Dodgers, they're going to try to play this out as it goes on. Look for tonight. To me, the big key is Sale's slider.
That's a foul ball, a ball and a strike on Brian Dozier, who gets the start at second base, so you know. And this is, we've shown you history already. There's history with this lineup. It's the first time in the history of the World Series that a team has gone with an all right-handed hitting lineup. Meaning in the past there have been switch hitters in there. Lefties sprinkled in, all righties. That is because Chris Sale is just devastating against left-handed hitters.
He is devastating. And that slider that I talked about, he wasn't able to finish it in his first game against the Astros. He struggled. He left it flat. If he stays on top of the baseball and it's not over the top 3/4 delivery, it's going to be very difficult for the Dodger hitters who like to launch the ball, hit it up in the air, to make contact with that pitch. If it's flat, it's going to give the Dodgers a chance to do some damage.
.95. You can get carried away with velocity, but the velocity has been down the stretch and has been up to this point in the postseason. Looks like he's got pretty good zip. He starts his night with a strikeout, one away. Our keys to the game are sponsored by LGV 40.
Well, it's a theme. Runners in scoring position. The Dodgers have to make better contact. They did not do a good job getting here. They won despite their inept ability to get hits with runners in scoring position. And same old for Boston. Just do what you do. Hit their runners in scoring position, especially with 2 outs, was as good as you're going to see, and it's the reason they beat the Houston Astros.
Here's Justin Turner, the number 2 hitter. Takes a strike as that breaking ball hits the outside corner. Turner, so far this postseason, hitting .279, 12 hits, one of which left the ballpark. That spins him out of there on a pitch that barely missed, the ball and a strike. The 29-year-old left-hander, 6'6", 181. Turner fouls away strike 2.
Well, this is the different paths that the teams have taken. Look at the strikeout totals compared to the Red Sox. They're one of the best in baseball. The home runs are indicative of the Dodgers. Of course, Boston can implement the home runs and the contact, but the runners in scoring position night and day. And you're talking about a Red Sox team that went up against one of the best strikeout pitchers rotation of all time in the Astros.
Turner fouls away a 94-mile-an-hour pitch. And the count stays a ball and 2 strikes. 9 days of rest for Chris Sale, who ended up in Massachusetts General Hospital after his Game 1 ALCS start with a stomach ailment. Lost some weight, put it back on, misses down and away, joked with the media and said, well, I had an irritation from a belly button ring that I was taking out and putting back in multiple times, and eventually they called him on it. He said, you guys figure out if I'm joking or not. Here's a 2-2. Back-to-back strikeouts to start Game 1.
Well, this is the slider I'm talking about. It changes lanes so late. He's got such a unique, see the angle he throws it, and that ball has such late movement. You got to get ready for 95, and then you see this pitch off of his changeup, which makes it doubly tough. So early on, no sleeves, doesn't seem bothered by the cold, and he certainly has been on point with his slider.
The 7-time All-Star left-hander deals with David Freese, who takes a strike. Freese picked up from the Pirates during the season. No stranger to the postseason. 9 career postseason home runs. Able to check his swing on a pitch that was down. David Freese was a part of the 2013 Cardinals team that lost the World Series to the Red Sox. The final game, Game 6, was here at Fenway. 1-1 pitch. He could strike out the side.
Fair or not, for the best team in baseball, really everything kind of spins off of their best pitcher, and that's Chris Sale. If he shows he's healthy and he intimidates and has that intimidating stuff, it bodes well for the Red Sox to go on with David Price next. But I think all eyes are going to be on this performance.
That's into right field. And David Freese is on with 2 out here in the first inning, and he will bring Machado to the plate.
See, I know that everybody wants to try to hit the ball in the air these days, but the team that's going to be successful against a Chris Sale is you have to stay on these pitches and go the other way. David Freese is a professional hitter, and I mean that in the ways that he is able to get clutch hits, stick his nose in there with 2 strikes, and he stays on that pitch. You try to pull that pitch, you're going to pull off. And by pulling off, you're doing a favor, even though he broke that bat. He got a chance to get rewarded with a hit.
In steps Manny Machado, who was traded to the Dodgers during the All-Star break. Out of play off to the right. You saw the numbers with Tom Verducci's piece before this game started. 8 home runs here at Fenway Park, 32 RBIs, and for him the most in any road ballpark have come here at Fenway. Some bad blood between Machado and the Red Sox. Chris Sale a part of that last year. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What Chris Sale would love to do is establish the fastball away, which is hard to hit in itself, and then bring that backdoor slider off of that pitch. And then, like he saw earlier, bust somebody in. When he gets you thinking away, he's going to bust you in with that fastball, and then you've got no chance.
Here's a 1-1. Late swing and a foul. Strike 2 on Machado. The other piece of Chris Sale and what he does to left-handed batters, look at the home runs allowed in the regular season, and they hit just 170. Not that being right-handed makes it much easier. Sale misses high. You know, with Tom Verducci going through that slide on the 21st of April 2017, the other piece of that is Dustin Pedroia's never really been the same. It was an add-on to that bad knee. Played 105 games a year ago and still trying to fight his way back. 2-2. That is hit in the air to left field. Got it down off the end of the bat. And after a half in game one, glad you're with us tonight on Fox. No score. We'll give you the Boston Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by Bright House Financial. Their top three: Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and Steve Pearce, who was picked up from Toronto and getting a lot of postseason at bats. We'll tell you why in a moment. JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Rafael Devers. The middle three, and the bottom part of the lineup is Kinsler Leon and Jackie Bradley Jr., who was the ALCS MVP and did all of his big damage with 2 out. Dave Roberts is talking to Ted Barrett, the crew chief. He's at second base. Don't know what that discussion was about. Tim Timmons will do the work behind the plate here in game one. And then Kerwin Danley will get the plate tomorrow night. This is not just Kershaw's first time ever at Fenway Park. It's his first time against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, and only a handful of guys has he faced, so not a lot to draw from. But he knows, watching video, seeing the numbers, what these Red Sox are able to do. They'll take a lot of pitches early. They'll fight you with 2 strikes and can still do damage with 2 strikes.
Here's Mookie Betts. And that hits the inside corner. If you're thinking about the radar gun with Kershaw, and we'll get to Betts here in a moment, who's had 8 hits this postseason after an incredible regular season. Betts pops it up, right side. Freese has got to try to find it, and it's a foul ball. Freese was zigzagging his way over there, and it didn't look good from the beginning. Puig couldn't get there in time, and it's just an eventful strike 2.
Well, if you're Kershaw, you're watching this with great hope and desire that this ball finds the glove, because it's one of the best in baseball. You got to pop up, and that ball was up there for a while, but in unique foul territory at this ballpark, which there's not much at all. David Freese, of course, on the opposite side of the diamond at first base.
That is hammered foul. So Freese can't corral that pop-up, and we'll see what that leads to here for Mookie Betts. Meanwhile, for the radar gun for Kershaw, 90-91. That's the fastball these days. But he is still beyond effective. He's been good this postseason. He was great in Game 5 of the NLCS. Roughed up a bit in Game 1 and turned in his best postseason outing in Game 2 of the division series against Atlanta.
Yeah, and this is where the battle begins for Clayton. With 2 strikes, you watch these Red Sox hitters go to work. Tried to throw the curveball there. You'll see some sliders at some point.
There's 91 that misses inside, 2-2.
Yeah, that would have been a strike had he not been set up away and had to reach back across the plate.
That's into center. Base hit for Betts, and he's on to start tonight for Boston.
Two strikes. Doesn't matter to Betts. Hitting over 300 on the year with 2 strikes. And he goes right back up the middle, fighting off. Good, solid swing. And this is what the Red Sox do best. They really do. They make you work. They can drive you in with less than 2 outs. 2 outs, doesn't matter. They get excited when runners are on base.
Here's Andrew Benintendi, 9 for 38 in the postseason after hitting .290 during the regular year. There goes Betts. A late swing and a throw down to second, gets into center on a steal by Mookie Betts. So Betts gets a second life on a pop-up that falls in, gets a two-strike hit in the center, and on the first pitch, steals second.
That's just straight game plan, and they know that Clayton Kershaw has a slide step, so that was almost, in my mind, predetermined that he was going to go. He didn't get a huge jump, but the throw short hops Machado, and he's not able to make the catch and tag. Benintendi doing his best to swing and keep Barnes back behind the plate.
Nothing in one, the count on Benintendi. Right side, base hit. Here comes Betts. Puig comes up throwing. Throw no good, too high. Down to second, Benintendi. 1-0 Boston in the first.
Well, Puig playing super deep. No chance. You got to know who's at second base. And he throws this ball as it gets by Dozier. Betts is one of the best in the league, obviously, with his feet. And now, man on second again for J.D. Martinez. I think the Dodgers are going to try and see if that Benintendi had come off the base. They're waiting, and they're going to challenge it.
So the throw down to second to see if Benintendi stayed on the bag. But a couple of things in play here. First of all, we talked to Alex Cora, the first-year manager of the Red Sox, before the game. Here's another look. The left hand is on the leg of Machado, and I don't know, did you see anything where the arm came up? I didn't see it, but the Dodgers saw enough in the clubhouse to tell Dave Roberts to go ahead and challenge it. Our replay review is powered by Mitel. We were talking to Alex Cora, talked to him about Mookie Betts. He said, you know, we've gotten to this point, and really Betts hasn't been Mookie Betts so far this postseason. He rips a base hit into center. He steals second on the first pitch to Benintendi. And he scores on the hit to right. I haven't seen anything that says that Benintendi was off the bag when Machado's glove was on his arm, and neither did the umpiring crew. But this is a team that is very versatile for Alex Cora, and speed is a big part of it. Something we will see a lot of during this World Series. Batter now is Steve Pearce, getting the start against a lefty Kershaw. Runner at second, nobody out. It's Moreland, their other first baseman's been bothered by a bad hamstring. So Pearce has had a lot of opportunity so far this postseason. Takes a strike.
He's done a nice job, especially against left-handers, and runners in scoring position has been pretty good, as well as this whole team. Locks in. They don't expand the strike zone with runners in scoring position.
Pierce gives Freese another crack at a pop-up down the line and has it. Anything but routine, but that's out number one here in the first inning. So we didn't get a chance to do this because it happened in a blink. The World Series is an event full of rich history and tradition, including steal a base, steal a taco. The player steals a base in the World Series. They steal a free Doritos Locos taco for everyone in America. Steal a base, steal a taco is back. And thanks to that stolen base by Mookie Betts, all of America wins free Doritos Locos tacos. Stop by Taco Bell on November 1st from 2 to 6 p.m. to snag yours, and that will be courtesy of Mookie Betts. And now a visit out to the mound with the cleanup hitter, the DH J.D. Martinez, digging in.
This is a growing theme in baseball, trying to make sure you got your signs decoded from the runners on second. Everybody's trying to pick up location, maybe sign sequence, and if you can give location or at least alert the hitter of location, you can eliminate pitches. And so the biggest thing about baseball today and why everybody has to work that much harder is you don't want to give the hitter or the opponents any advantage at all.
Runner at second, one out, and a strike drills the inside corner to J.D. Martinez. What a year. His first year in a Red Sox uniform. Ended up second in the league in average, second in home runs with 43. And after taking a step backward at the DH spot a year ago, after Big Papi walked away after 2016, he took a big step forward this year with J.D. Martinez as the count evens at a ball and a strike.
That pitch right there is going to be so important for Clayton. It's his cutter slash slider, and it wasn't as good in Milwaukee, and he made adjustments and got much better in Los Angeles for his start. He's going to need that slider against J.D. because this is one of the best hitters in all of baseball, commanding the strike zone, and he doesn't expand it up.
And misses up.
His discipline up is unbelievable, and his unique style to hitting keeps the bat, of course, in the zone, and that's why he can deliver with power here to left field, center field, and right field. So you're going to have to get him to swing below the zone with that slider if he's going to have success against J.D. Martinez.
The defense in Game 1 of the NLCS let Kershaw down. In that game in Milwaukee here, a miss on a pop-up gave a second life to Mookie Betts, and then a bad throw by Yasiel Puig in right. Trying to do too much. The throw was too high. That allowed Benintendi to go to second. And Benintendi will come to the plate on an RBI base hit by Martinez. It's 2-0. Red Sox on top.
This is what I'm talking about. Watch the barrel of the bat go right through the zone and go right up the middle, not trying to do too much. That is not a bad pitch, but this is just a great hitter who basically has mastered the mechanics of his swing. It's the turnaround from when he got released from Houston. And you see he almost clips his teammate at second. That ball was hit so hard.
Already 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position for the Red Sox. As Xander Bogaerts takes ball 1 up and away. Bogaerts is the only player on the active roster who was a part of the 2013 World Series. It's hard to believe. That is major turnover. 21-year-old shortstop then. 25 years old now as that misses outside to count 2-0.
There's a confident rookie manager in his ball club that when we talked to him, he said these guys are good. But it started in spring training with an approach to hunting the fastball, but then work with 2 strikes, drive the runner in. There's no fluke that this lineup is the best in baseball because of that approach.
That's down and in. 3 balls, no strikes. This is a Red Sox team trying to win its 4th championship over the last 15 years. Cast of characters has changed. The desire to win in this market has not. There's a strike, and the count 3-1.
Well, just think about it. They put pressure on you to throw strikes, spot your strikes, and if you have anything flat in the zone, they make this ballpark look small, and they got hits all over the place. We showed you earlier, very few strikeouts. More hits than strikeouts. Not the case for the Dodgers. More strikeouts than hits in this postseason.
Good pitch there, and the count's full. Look what the Red Sox have done in game ones. 2004, 2007, 2013, and now tonight. First inning, they've been deadly here at home. Runner started too soon. Throw down to second is in time. And Kershaw picks up an out on the bases as J.D. Martinez took off too soon with a 3-2 count.
That is huge for Clayton Kershaw, especially already 2 runs on the board. You know the Red Sox are going to be aggressive, and Clayton doesn't pick his leg up as if he's going home and gives basically a slide step to first. Perfect timing on a 3-2 pitch now with nobody on.
And the count full on Xander Bogaerts. Pop up. Seen this before. Freeze. That one was easy. And the first inning is over as the Red Sox get to around here this time of year. Kevin, don't forget to turn on your lights before you go home. You're part of the Go Sox. Karen, you do it too. Here's Chris Taylor first up for the Dodgers. 2-0 Boston after 1. It'll be Taylor, Kemp, Kike Hernandez. Dodgers got a 2-out hit by Freeze. Stranded him. The Red Sox went right to work. 3 singles, a couple of RBIs, a stolen base, a couple of runs. 2-0 in the second. Down on a knee, fooled on the pitch, big swing, strike 2.
And again, Chris Sale doesn't mind seeing those kind of swings. He wants you to swing like that against what you think is a fastball, ends up being a slider. On the year, Chris Sale did his best pitching when he had the lead. And certainly 2 runs in the first inning in a World Series game, right up his alley.
2-2. So we've seen mid-90s in that pitch that put Taylor down on a knee, 80 miles an hour.
What makes him doubly tough is his angle of releasing the baseball and the way he throws and gets off the mound. His stride length is long. The hitter has less chance to recognize a pitch, yet alone velocity.
A check on Devers at third, and that's foul. You know, this is our 3rd year working together. And you are in Cooperstown for what you did on the mound. And I know you well enough to know that this Dodger lineup, you could pitch to this Dodger lineup because you've got guys there that are worried about launch angle and trying to pound the ball out of the park. This Boston lineup,
totally
give you trouble.
Absolutely, totally different. That's what made them so special. They lead baseball in just about every offensive category, which is why they won 108 games in the regular season, not to mention their good pitching. But yeah, there's spots in the Dodgers lineup that is going to make you look bad if you throw bad pitches, but there are places you can go to get outs, especially strikeouts, when you need contact to score runs. That's the difference between the 2 clubs so far.
A strikeout, 3rd of the night for Sale. Starts the second. $117 strikeouts through 357 at-bats coming in. We'll give you StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services.
Well, this is what you could see from time to time. This is the slower version of the slider, but watch how it eats up at 58 inches. That's a big challenge for any right-hander who steps up to the plate looking for fastball, trying to adjust to that pitch.
Kemp is not on the list of guys who are worried about launch angle. He's just trying to get on base any way he can. That's what he's done this postseason, 3 out of 14. Hit .290 and was an all-star. Takes a strike here. That 78-mile-per-hour pitch backdoors its way into the strike zone.
Yeah, Kemp's one of those guys over his long career where his swing has not changed much. He has one prototypical swing through the zone. And he's looking for that area to continue that groove swing. Now you hear more than ever before today's theory on hitting, guys have adopted a one-way swing. They're looking to not deviate or change no matter what the count is.
2-2.
The slider from the left-hander gives Matt Kemp a lot of trouble from the left-hand side of the mound.
With one out, Kemp fouls it straight back.
That was going to be one of those freeze-em fastballs in the inner part. Now off of that pitch, you would think that Sale's going to throw a slider to that back foot right off that fastball. With 2 strikes, Matt Kemp had too good of a swing. See if they read the same kind of thing from the mound between Sale and his catcher.
Full count.
It's the right pitch. He just needed to get it up over the plate a little bit more to make it enticing. Now, if you think Matt Kemp's going to be aggressive, you throw that same pitch on 3-2. A little fastball back in.
Chris Sale is one of those pitchers that every time he's out there, it's kind of the way it used to look with Randy Johnson.
Yep.
He's not just trying to beat you. He's trying to make you look better while he's beating you. His stuff is that good, and when he's on, he can wipe you out. Here is Kemp, fly ball into left, back at the wall, it is gone. And the lead is cut in half as Matt Kemp shoots one over the green monster to make it 2-1.
See, there's a perfect example of Matt Kemp. He doesn't overstride. He had a good swing on that fastball in. That's why I thought they were going to go back to a slider, especially 3-2. He leaves the fastball out over the plate. Matt Kemp has been playing a long time. He's not bothered by a lot. And in these cold temperatures, he takes advantage of a rare mistake. Chris Sale, when you release the ball, you kind of know that. You just kind of hope maybe somehow it gets knocked down. But a big early run for the Dodgers, now trailing only by 1.
Only 1 out in the inning, and Kike Hernandez takes a strike. Kemp was picked up and brought back to the Dodgers after being away in San Diego, Atlanta. Basically, it was a salary dump, the deal, and the odds were stacked against Matt Kemp. At the beginning of spring training, he literally, first of all, he lost a bunch of weight. Then he forced his way onto the team with what he did. And then he added to it with a great first half, and he became an all-star as Hernandez checks on Devers. 2 out.
Well, simply put, Joe, there's no chance the Dodgers are here without Matt Kemp's first half and Max Muncy's first half. Period. No chance. And they got a lot of help in the second half, but without that all-star appearance by Matt Kemp, I don't know how in the world you could say the Dodgers would have survived their slow start.
And it was slow. They were 8 games out, 10 games under in mid-May. And they were in a 3-team race for the NL West over the final month of the regular season as Yasiel Puig hammers at that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1. They ended up in a tie with the Colorado Rockies. They won game number 163 behind their rookie right-hander Walker Buehler to win the division and set up their matchups, as it turned out, with Atlanta and then Milwaukee. 1 ball, 1 strike on Puig.
Well, you mentioned the all right-handed lineup. This has not been a good year for Puig against left-handers for whatever reason. His splits are not very good. Right-hander versus left-handed. He'd much rather face a right-handed pitcher.
That's strike 2.
There you see the numbers. He really has struggled on fastballs against left-handers of all things.
Two and two. Matt Kemp is 34 years old. He was not with this Dodger team a year ago. Brought back into the fold as Puig does not offer it that pitch. Everybody on the Red Sox was on their way to the dugout. They thought Puig went around. Kerwin Danley, the first base umpire, had other ideas. So now it's a full count.
Puig had some big hits in the Milwaukee series. Certainly he'd like to have that same momentum carry over in this series.
Had 3 hits in Game 7, including that 3-run home run with 2 out in the 6th that made it 5-1. That's how it ended. That's a walk. So from a near strikeout to a 2-out walk. Second inning is still alive with the number 9 hitter Austin Barnes coming up.
Both clubs have confidence in their catchers defensively. Whatever they can get out of them offensively would be a bonus. Of course, Barnes took over because the struggles of Grandal and the defensive woes that really became apparent as the series went on. And Austin, for the most part, should get most of the catching duties.
A couple of hits this postseason, takes a strike.
Think about the way the game started for Clayton Kershaw. You mentioned it, his earlier start against Milwaukee, the same kind of defensive lapse really kind of led to the undoing. They had 2 chances to get Betts out, didn't, and then Puig overthrow, gets a runner in scoring position, and 2 quick runs before you could blink. Matt Kemp helping him out.
This Dodger team hit a franchise record 235 home runs. Number 1 in the National League, number 2 in baseball to the record-setting Yankees. That's a strike, 1-2.
Well, never has the pitch count been more important on baseball in general, but it will be super important on Chris Sale tonight. Already, this will be his 50th pitch with a bullpen that may not have as many weapons that the Dodgers do. The Dodgers are trying to make Chris Sale work for everything he gets.
That one down and in, the count 2-2. Two-two pitch. Barnes strikes out. But the Dodgers are on the board. Not a bad first World Series at bat for Matt Kemp. Over the monster and left. It's 2-1 Boston after 1 job site. Bottom of the second inning at Fenway. It rained on and off. Majority of the afternoon. It stopped raining a little over an hour before first pitch. Here's a strike into Devers, who turns 22 tomorrow. He's had a good postseason. Big 3-run home run in Game 5 of the ALCS against Justin Verlander. And that's ball 1.
Well, against Devers, it's amazing the power he has the other way and the ability to hit the ball up. So Clayton's going to want to keep the ball down. Those are outs if he gets the ball down to Devers.
So he, as a left-handed batter, is made for Fenway Park.
It sure looks that way right now. And his ability to stay on left-handers is pretty good for a young player.
That's down and away, 2-1. So far, he's reached base in 9 of his 22 plate appearances this postseason. Saw that mark of 350. 7 RBIs, 2-1. Is down maybe a bit in, 3-1.
Well, I mentioned Chris Sale and the work that he does when he's got a lead. The best pitching for Kershaw in the year is when he's actually behind. Great pitchers know they can't give up any more runs.
That's a leadoff walk. If you haven't seen the Red Sox much this year, you haven't watched the top team in baseball. They had 108 wins, the most across MLB this season, a franchise record. Name a team offensive category, and they were #1 in it for the most part. Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez, phenomenal. The top part of this lineup, you see they combined to hit .338. And they were a part of that 2-run, 3-hit first inning for first-year manager Alex Cora. As the batter is Ian Kinsler. Strike 1 on the inside corner.
Kinsler's kind of the opposite of Devers. He likes the ball up. Or I'm sorry, the ball up is outs. Likes the ball down, especially middle in. You know, when you were talking about the offense, I tried to think of what would be the similarities to great teams in other sports and how to beat them. What do you have to do to go through them? And I think of the Golden State Warriors. It's like good luck trying to have all 3 of those guys have bad shooting nights. And it's the Boston Red Sox lineup where you're hoping, what are the chances all 3 of them can't produce? And they just have this stinginess about them that each guy understands how they make the next guy better. And you just have to be on your game as a pitcher to get through this lineup, especially when there's traffic on bases.
0-2 on Kinsler, playing in his 3rd World Series. Former Texas Ranger. He's 0-2 so far. That's too far inside. 1-2.
One of the things that you always want to do as a pitcher is how do you figure out a way to induce a double play? Well, Mr. Kinsler, he's hitting 15 of them, so trying to pull an outside pitch usually results in those double plays.
For Kinsler, he is playing in his 46th career postseason game. He's hit 4 home runs. Very good defensive second baseman on top of what he's able to do with a bat.
And both these clubs have had a unique, challenging, fill the gap at second base type roster. Of course, the Red Sox, when you talk about Pedroia's absence, they tried to fill it a couple different ways.
A strikeout for out #1. So Kinsler is gone as Kershaw gets his first strikeout of the night. It's 1-on-1 out for Sandy Leon.
You know, it's eating that guy up. Dustin Pedroia, the heartbeat of this organization for a long time. And struggling with some injuries and struggling at this time of the year, not being part of it. You know, it's not who he is, and he wants to be out there as bad as anybody.
The rookie and rookie of the year on that 07 team, was the MVP in 08. There's a strike to Leon. Red Sox picked up Kinsler in season. But they miss Dustin Pedroia and all that he brings. That is on the inside corner, according to the home plate umpire Tim Timmons, and the count 0-2.
It's such a good pitch for Kershaw. He throws this ball, looks like it pops out of his hand, and then tremendous breakdown. He wants to get that thumb off of there to create spin, and the hitter just thinks, no way can that thing stay in the strike zone and go top to bottom.
2 days of rest for Kershaw. That's a base hit into right. Devers will turn and go to third as Leon has his first hit of the postseason.
It doesn't seem like much, but just putting the bat on the ball. It's what these teams do. His hips open up. He was fighting off that curveball to pitch before, and he just defends against the fastball. And oh, how sweet that is when a hitter gets rewarded. And another runner in scoring position for the Red Sox, which Jackie Bradley Jr. made the most of his 3 hits in the previous series.
I'll say he won the MVP. 9 RBIs. Evers way down the line at third. First and third. Good block by Barnes.
Well, for Kershaw, you don't want to show your out pitch all the time early, but with runners in scoring position, Jackie Bradley has struggled against curveballs and sliders against left-handers. He loves the fastball on the whole against anybody, but that pitch right there gives him fits.
Devers way down the line again. There's a good pitch on the hands of Bradley, who with his 3 hits had a 3-run double in game 2, a grand slam in game 3, and a game-winning 2-run home run in game 4 to end the Astros' hopes of repeating. Strike 2. Kershaw with a strikeout in this inning. When he got Kinsler, he would love one here. They count 1-2. Runners at the corners, 1 out.
Yeah, with Jackie Bradley's speed, it'd be hard to think about doubling him up unless he hits it hard at the middle infielders. You got Mookie Betts on deck. So strikeout seems to be the best option for Kershaw.
That is up the middle. Machado steps, throws, got them both. And Bradley did hit it hard.
Wow. Through the wickets of Kershaw.
And Machado was there waiting. The step, the throw, still 2-1 after 2 now in game 1. Glad you're with us tonight. Game 1 of the 2018 World Series, the 114th World Series. A strike is into Brian Dozier, who struck out his first time. A home run allowed by Sale in the second, a solo shot by Kemp. After the Red Sox got 2 in the first, Dozier went around and he's in the hole, 0-2. Dodgers came into this game as a team hitting .218 this postseason. This will be pitch number 54 for Chris Sale. Dozier flies one into left. Back is Benintendi. A couple of steps for out number 1. Showed you the season in review for the Red Sox. How about the Dodgers? They have back-to-back World Series appearances since the late 70s, 77 and 78. The record-setting home run total of 235. And the bullpen this postseason, it has stepped forward, anchored by Kenley Jansen, their terrific closer. But Dave Roberts loves his group down there, and he is not scared to call for somebody out of the pen. There's ball 1 inside to Turner.
Well, and they made a lot of changes as far as pitching changes, but they allowed their starters to give them the bulk of the innings in last series, which keeps those guys fresh. You don't use them too much, and they don't get to see you that many times. Of course, the Dodgers have 4 starters they'll use, 3 of them left-handed.
Turner grounds a base hit through the right side. Good piece of hitting by Justin Turner as he shoots it to the left of Ian Kinsler, and he's on with 1 out.
Well, these 2 guys, Turner and Freese, really do have 2 of the better approaches and aren't afraid to take what the pitcher's given them and also the defense is giving them. It'd be nice to think that everybody could go up there and hit mistakes over the Green Monster, but that just doesn't work out against a pitcher like Chris Sale.
And now David Freese who's 1 for 1 with a base hit through the right side his first time. That is just outside for ball 1. Freese got a lot of starts, not a lot of at-bats in the NLCS, as Dave Roberts like to start the right-handed hitting lineup against the left-handed starters for the Brewers, and then midway through go to the lefties on his bench. That's inside 2-0.
You know, you think about it, we didn't see too many lineups that were even close to themselves or duplicated, but the first 2 pitchers for the Red Sox are going to be left-handers. You could virtually see the same lineup for Dave Roberts come tomorrow night. And all kinds of changes with the Milwaukee Brewers approach towards the Dodgers.
That's 3-0. Already 60 pitches for Chris Sale. And talking to Alex Cora before the game, he was thinking 5, maybe 6 innings, but not at this rate. With 1 out, the 3-0 pitch is in for strike 1. 9 of the 11 home runs that Chris Sale allowed during the regular season were solo shots. A solo home run by Kemp in the second. Machado on deck. 3-1 the count on Freese. A full count now.
Yeah, that's just a great pitch. That was a changeup at 87. Thinking, okay, Freese is going to be super aggressive on a fastball, and he throws that changeup. Freese didn't like it as soon as it came out of his hand. Now full count.
And he could get anything. Who knows what's coming from the left hand of Chris Sale. Runner goes on a line drive into left that is down for a base hit. Benintendi tried to deke the runner. That's Turner, but he wasn't going to go any further since Benintendi made the play on a hop. David Freese is 2 for 2, and it's 2 on with 1 out for Manny Machado, who flied to left his first time.
Machado, of course, has had a lot of experience against Sale, seeing a lot of fastballs away, sliders away, and then an occasional fastball in.
Opportunity for LA. That's down for ball 1.
Well, Machado, you see on the career 6 for 20, a homer, a couple doubles. This postseason started off shaky, anxious, swinging out of the zone against the Braves. Then he settled in, had some better at-bats against the Brewers.
Good rip there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And of course, the Dodgers went out and got him to fill in for their great shortstop, who was lost for the year with Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, when they lost Corey Seager at the end of April, there was a gap of 82 days before they filled the hole with Manny Machado. And they got virtually the same production out of that shortstop spot offensively as they had last year with the terrific talent Seager is. Machado grounds a base hit left side. Turner will come to the plate. Benintendi no throw, and this game is tied. Three straight singles by Turner, Freese, and Machado.
Well, left field is not a deep position for the left fielder, but you got to respect Manny Machado's power. It's the shortest distance in left field, and usually when there's a hit like this, it's going to be a play at the plate. But the left-hander comes in, Benintendi, and a good jump by Turner, and aggressive play by Chris Woodward got the game tied. What the Dodgers have done early on, almost in a theory, is if it's low, let it go, meaning the slider, they're trying to get the ball up from Sale. And so far, they've made a nice adjustment since the first inning, where the first 2 guys struck out. They've made Sale work awfully hard.
Now Taylor He struck out his first time with a big swing. Strike one. So what adjustments will be made this round by Turner Ward, the hitting coach, in his group? It's been a home run for the Dodgers, 4 singles and a walk. Two on, 1 out. Taylor, strike 2.
The big swings are not going to have success against Sale. The 2 best approaches so far in this game have come from Turner and Freese. Now, Matt Kemp on a 3-2 pitch took advantage of a mistake fastball and sent it over the Green Monster. But if you don't start this inning off the way Turner and Freese does and put some pressure on Chris Sale, the Dodgers have done a better job this time around. Once again, the Red Sox are looking at changing their signs. The middle infielders are going to talk about how to handle a ground ball, not to mention what signs they're going with to relay any information.
Each side gets 6 mound visits to start the night. Each side has used 1. Pitches by inning. This is pitch number 69 already. And he misses upstairs to Taylor. Taylor made an incredible catch in Game 7 in Milwaukee. He robbed Christian Yelich of an RBI. Kept the Dodgers on top 2-1. Shortly thereafter, it was 5-1. That's how it ended. That just missed. 2-2.
Well, for Sale, he was trying to speed him up because ultimately he could slow him down with the sliders. Sliders are the kryptonite from left-handers for Chris Taylor. With that swing, he's trying to hit the ball in the air, so a slider coming at that angle is going to miss the bat if you're having a one-style or one-way swing.
Got him looking, and Taylor knew it. Strikeout number 5. So 71 pitches for Chris Sale as he gets Chris Taylor here, and Matt Kemp will be the hitter.
That was nasty.
In case you're wondering, this postseason, the end of the year, where in the second half Sale was on the DL twice. His total of pitches that Sale has thrown, 93 in Game 1 of the division series against the Yankees. Here's one back to Sale. Gets the out. The Dodgers have tied the game. RBI by Machado. Bottom of the 3rd. Red Sox back with a base hit up the middle after getting a second chance. Popped up right side. The ball fell in foul territory. Playable. Single to center, stole second, and scored. A ball and a strike from Clayton Kershaw. Feels like everything's kind of finally settled into Game 1. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, the Dodgers, of course, haven't had much rest as the Red Sox have. And the Red Sox came out just with almost the energy and aggressiveness and the style that they have to just jump on a team as fast as they can and then make them never look back. But the Dodgers have scratched 2 across.
You know, you talk about rest going into a World Series and what it does to a team. I'm going to blow your mind, Smoltz.
Cannot wait.
After Mookie Betts does something to start this 3rd inning. 2-2 game now. Full count. Cheska, our producer, says we're waiting. Well, I said after Betts does something here to start the end. 3-2. Struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Clayton Kershaw, who battles back from a 3-1 count to get Betts.
Well, he knows how big that is, because not only can Betts beat you at the plate, but he can beat you on the bases, as we saw evidence in the first inning. He went on the very first pitch after singling up the middle. And you don't see that very often out of Betts. He does not strike out a lot.
With 1 out, the batter, Benintendi. That's outside ball 1. So the Dodgers win the NLCS on Saturday, 2 days after the Red Sox won the ALCS. In each of the last 9 years, the team entering the World Series with fewer days of rest than its opponents has won the World Series. Here's a fly ball into left. It's going to fall for a base hit, and Taylor has it get past him, but Benintendi only makes it to first base. And as we watch his trip down to first, it'll be interesting to see just how hard he was running.
Yeah, he hits us off the end. He first got to locate it, and then he says, okay, that's a bloop. And then once he gets to first base and sees it get by, it's a little bit too late. So he's trouble finding, that when he hit it off the bat, he didn't know exactly where it was. And then the spin on that ball was enough to get by Taylor, but no harm.
No harm, because Benintendi wasn't busting it down to first base. He's on with 1 out. The batter is Pierce. I don't know that your mind is blown, John, but that is surprising that the last 9 World Championships, the team with less rest coming in has won the World Series.
That is interesting when you think about momentum. You think about the closeness of the season, where you don't have that many off days. You're playing every day. That's the one downside of the postseason, when you have these built-in off days, and then, of course, if you win early, more off days. You cannot simulate baseball when you're resting. I know teams have tried to do that and have not been as successful.
That's fouled by Pierce. We saw Jim Leland in the hallway before tonight's game. He's here hanging out with his buddy Tony La Russa, who's part of the front office for the Red Sox, and his 06 Tigers were so good that they had a long layoff leading into the World Series, and defensively they looked like they hadn't played before.
Yeah,
throwing the ball all over the place. Pitchers were having a terrible time trying to get outs on the bases. Here's a ball in the dirt. Benintendi stays put, and they count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it's that fine line even as the season winds down. The Dodgers, of course, you mentioned, had to go 163 games to know their fate on the division. Well, the Red Sox basically had it wrapped up with a month to go. It didn't bother them. They went through their arch rival Yankees, and then went through the tough defending champs Houston Astros.
2 100-win teams. It's a wide throw by Kershaw that frees Corrales. We saw those 2 managers. That split screen shot. They are very good friends. They are former teammates, and both played for both organizations that are involved in this World Series. Left side from the hole, Machado gets the out over to first. Got them both. What a double play. Are you kidding? And that ends the inning. Fantastic play by Machado from the hole. Fires to Dozier, who gets the out at first, and now they're going to check. So the Red Sox are going to make this umpiring crew and the crew chief, Ted Barrett.
You know what's interesting here? I'm very interested to see if we get a safe call, okay, and that's what it looks like it's going to be by the Red Sox, and then see if Dave Roberts challenges the slide at second base to see if it affected the throw from Dozier. So you could actually get the reversal here, that the Red Sox are going to be safe. Here's the slide. Now when he goes to throw, see if that right there, well, looks like it's okay. So the first end's going to be safe by the Dodgers, by the Red Sox. and then there'll be 2 outs with a runner on. So the way Dozier threw it made me alive think that he got hit, but he was on the base.
Our replay review was sponsored by Mitel. And the inning continues. First of all, that's the brilliance of Manny Machado. His arm is so accurate, throwing from so many different angles, that he goes deep in the hole, gets the out at second. They almost turn the double play, but they reverse the call at first, and it's 1 on, 2 out for J.D. Martinez.
And that's a huge thing because of the guy at the plate. The guy at the plate creates so much stress because he covers every aspect of this park. You know, when people talked about his production should go down when the Red Sox signed him naturally because of his right field power, well, it's gone up. And the reason it's gone up is he's learned to pull the ball a little bit more because of the short porch. He basically has a tailored swing to where he can utilize wherever the pitch is to his advantage. It's a credit to him. It's a credit to his discipline, his work ethic, his film watching. And J.D. Martinez has had an influence on the rest of his teammates because of that approach.
Kershaw shocked to hear that called ball 2 instead of strike 2. He thought he had made a good pitch. Still talking to the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons.
Come on, Timmy, let's go.
Dave Roberts chimes in. Two and 1 the count, 1 on, 2 out. J.D. Martinez takes a strike. And now a little smile on the face of J.D. Martinez, saying things have a tendency to even out in this game. Two and 2.
Haven't seen the slider down against J.D. yet from Clayton. Slowed him up with curveballs, went in with a fastball.
Right into center field, back at the wall. It is off the wall. Running around third is Pierce. Red Sox regain the lead. It's 3-2. J.D. Martinez in a little bit of discomfort after sliding into second. How strong is this guy?
He is super strong, and see, the difference is that slider didn't break at all. If it breaks towards his foot, it might be a different result, but that slider spun over the middle of the plate, and because he stays on the ball, he goes exactly where the distance of this, and you see him slide right there. Certainly trying to walk off what looked like kind of a sprained ankle there, or rolled ankle right there. And all eyes are going to be on him, as you can imagine.
Dave Roberts now is going to jog out and talk to Kershaw. They love him here at Fenway. Damp night, his foot slid off the top of the bag and then able to get back. And he says he is okay to continue.
We're obviously concerned about him running here in case there's a base hit with 2 outs, but being the DH, he'll be able to go in and get that addressed and tape or anything it needs to do. But he just does a great job here to the biggest part of the ballpark. And again, he was thinking about 3 right here, thinking about 3, and as soon as he got past that bag, of course, he couldn't get the traction and slips and rolls his ankle. Right here, the first slip, and then that right there.
So they intentionally passed Bogaerts to put him down at first base. That was part of the visit from Dave Roberts. And Devers will be the hitter. Took a strike. Devers walked his first time, 2 on, 2 out. A run is home, a near double play, and at bat for Martinez, and he didn't miss. Off that garage door out in deep center field.
I promise you, there's so much difference between a runner on first, 2 outs, and JD up versus a runner on second and 2 outs and JD up. You know what they're going to do. They're not going to pitch to him. And with 2 outs, another 2-out RBI and 2-out run for the Red Sox in this postseason.
A strikeout of Devers ends the inning. The Red Sox regain the lead. It was an appeal after Pierce was initially called out. Red Sox win the appeal. J.D. Martinez won that at bat. 3-2. I don't want to make you nervous, John Smoltz, in a 3-2 game, top of the 4th inning, and Chris Sale back to work. But Bruce Springsteen is watching this game right now on his television.
How do you know that?
I just know.
Wow.
How about that? How about that? He's a big Smoltz fan. What a word. Kike Hernandez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, big inning here for Chris Sale. You got 74 pitches, and the Dodgers have done a good job making him work, build that pitch count up. You're looking at 2 more innings for Chris Sale at this rate.
That's off the end of the bat, fouled away, strike 2. This was a game started by the only 2 active pitchers with ERAs under 3, with 1,000 or more innings pitched. Kershaw 239, Sale 289. Strikeout to start the inning as Leon fires down to first. Strikeout number 6 for Sale. Our Indeed.com player resume. We look at these 2 left-handers. And that bottom note, the first World Series opener with each starting pitcher a 7-time All-Star selection.
You know, I'm trying to think back at just all the matchups with Clayton Kershaw, and usually when he's been on the hill, we talk about how unbelievable he's been and his stuff. It's like the first time I could think of he's facing a guy that has better stuff at this point in his career. And of course, Clayton has done it for a long period of time. And the only knock really on Chris Sale over his short, brilliant career has been the second half, staying strong or finishing strong. And this year, of course, has been that case. 2 times on the DL and not many innings in the second half.
Puig with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. These are also 2 left-handers that have had to answer some questions after some tough postseason starts. Now Kershaw, with the success of the Dodgers, they won their division 6 straight years, gotten to the LCS 3 straight years, now their 2nd straight World Series. Comes into this game 9-8, but a career postseason ERA of over 4 compared to that tremendous regular season ERA of 2.39. Sale, on the other hand, was traded for 4 minor league players prior to last year, and after a great year, and he struck out 308 hitters, walked only 43 in 214 innings, went 0-2 in the division series against Houston, his first time in the postseason. That is just inside, and the count 2-2.
That's so nasty. I don't think the hitter, in this case Puig, could even think about pulling the trigger and hoping he doesn't hear strike 3 call, because painted inside, just off the plate. I also got to say about Chris Sale, not many people have the temperament for every city. He has the temperament for this market and this city, and he has handled it, embraced it when he came over. He has changed as a pitcher, and he is well versed on what it takes to be successful here. and how to handle Boston.
Puig went around. Back-to-back strikeouts and 7 in the game for Chris Sale.
There's the slider, comes out of that angle. Even that lower angle, you're able to stay on top of it. And Puig cannot stay behind.
Definitely offered at the pitch. Walked his first time, now 0 for 1 as Puig, and the number 9 hitter, Austin Barnes. Goes bunt, takes the ball. Well, John, you're a guy who spent the majority of your career in Atlanta, obviously. You got a taste of it up here in Boston at the end of your career.
It's really unbelievable from a fan base, from a culture, obviously from a championship standpoint.
2-0.
And if you can't handle the questions or the scrutiny of not being able to perform, you're gonna suffocate. It's not going to be well, especially if you're not.
Here's one into center and caught by Bradley. You can finish your thought later. Bottom of the 4th inning rolls in. So bottom of the 4th inning, Red Sox batting, leading by a run. Kinsler takes a strike from Clayton Kershaw. Ian struck out his first time. Sandy Leon and Jackie Bradley Jr. The next 2. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kinsler this year really struggled in the power department against left-handers. That's not typical of a guy who could hit a bunch of home runs.
Ken Rosenthal, what's up?
Well, Joe, you mentioned Bruce Springsteen watching this game before. We have an actual rock star in the house tonight, Jack White, and he is not simply here as a fan. White and Ian Kinsler are 2 of the owners of a bat company based out of Dallas called Warstick. They met when Kinsler was playing for the Tigers. White is from Detroit, huge Tiger fan, huge baseball fan, frequently organizes pickup games for his band and crew while on the road. And the 2 players using Warstick bats in tonight's game, Kinsler and the man who hit a home run for the Dodgers, Matt Kemp.
Oh, wait, Kenny. Stepping outside your comfort zone. I like it. 2-2. That's foul. Got a chance to meet Jack at a game in Detroit, and he told me that he used to work at Old Tiger Stadium. So he is a baseball fan and has been for a long time, and that's when he struck up that friendship with Ian Kinsler, who waits for another 2-2 from Kershaw. Good pitch by Kershaw. Had Kinsler fooled. Strikeout number 4. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. Yes, John, you're looking at me longingly. What do you have?
No, for those of you who have not followed the Dodgers or don't know and watched a ton of Kershaw games, he has that unique delivery. He pitches off the right side of the rubber where his counterpart Sale pitches off the third base side, but he has that double clutch kind of leg kick, and that is used for more of deception. And in the last 2 years, when he's come up with some of these injuries, the lower part of his back is so huge. When his leg usually comes up for most pitchers, it goes straight down, drive to the plate. Where Clayton Kershaw goes up, pause, and then down. And what's unique about both pitchers and how they get it done in different ways. You see where he's sitting on the rubber, and then when he does this double leg kick, I call it, he lands in the same spot where Chris Sale is landing.
That's on the inside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts and 3 in a row for Kershaw.
And Chris Sale pitches off the third base side of the rubber to show you how much he throws across his body. So the bottom line for Clayton Kershaw, this has been his mechanics the whole career. And he relies on his lower legs and lower back to be efficient. And that's why it's so important for him, as any other pitcher, to be really healthy.
Batter is Jackie Bradley Jr., ALCS MVP. Strike one. The Dodgers wrapped up their series against the Brewers on Saturday. They hung out in Milwaukee, came here on Sunday, and Clayton Kershaw immediately came to Fenway Park, getting the ball for the first time in his great career here at Fenway, and he did work in the bullpen to make sure he would be okay for this start. He could strike out the side here in the fourth inning. He proclaims himself fit. He's working on 2 days of rest after a 15-pitch ninth inning in Game 7.
And that work he did in the bullpen did not involve a baseball. So he went through his mechanics, through all his pitches without a baseball. A little bit of dry work, a little mental work probably to get himself acquainted.
Out in front, Bradley grounds fair, handled by Freese, and out at first. Not sure Jackie Bradley totally agrees. He's standing there with his bat in his hand, but he's out. Back after this from your local Fox station, 3-2 Boston. Top three against the lefty Sale, who was struck out 7. 3-2 Boston. Breaking ball is in for a strike to Dozier, who flied to left his last time up, struck out his first time. Matt Barnes, a right-hander, has been getting loose, while Sale is about to twirl home pitch number 88.
Yeah, by all accounts, this will be his last inning, and in the perfect world, Alex Cora would love to get him through this inning, because with the Dodgers having an all right-handed lineup, look for some changes possibly in Dave Roberts' lineup. The Red Sox go to the pen.
It's a lot easier for Roberts to do all that in the American League City with the DH. He doesn't have to worry about the pitcher coming up and needing more pinch hitters and what have you. So when Alex Cora goes to the right-handers in the pen, Roberts will counter with the left-handed power on his bench, and there's part of it. Max Muncy, the first baseman, second baseman, who hit 35 home runs during the regular season. Here is a 3-1 pitch. That's inside, and Sale yells in at the home plate umpire. Lead-off walk here in the 5th. This January on Fox comes a thrilling new series from executive producer Ridley Scott. Can One Girl Save Humanity, based on the best-selling trilogy The Passage? Premieres this January on Fox.
Well, rarely do you see a catcher turn around and specifically speak. But this pitch as the inside part of the corner, and that's going to be it for Sale.
And that's why Sale was so hot that he didn't get the call, because he knew with that leadoff walk came his exit. Barnes is coming in. Action in the 5th in Game 1. First, Matt Kemp went deep in the second inning. Made a 2-0 game 2-1. Here's how the Red Sox came out of the gate. Betts got a second chance as that ball dropped. Got a base hit up the middle, still second, and then scored on the hit to right by Benintendi. He went to second on a high throw from Puig and scored on a hit by J.D. Martinez. Justin Turner dealing with the right-hander Matt Barnes as Chris Sale goes 4+. 2 runs, 5 hits, struck out 7 through 91 pitches. And here are the numbers for big weapon out of the bullpen for Alex Cora.
Fastball, slider, occasional changeup. You saw the slider first pitch.
That's left side base hit. Turner is on. It's 2 on with nobody out, and the Dodgers have something brewing here in the 5th inning.
You know, the Dodgers kind of survived a 7-game series against a crazy style of how they were pitching to him, and almost a patience over 7 games won them out. You got to feel like the same scenario here. Chris Sale, the best pitcher for the Red Sox, they waited him out. They made him work. Kershaw's kept it close. And now you'd like to think the advantage might turn towards the Dodgers facing the bullpen of the Red Sox. A healthier Sale, in my opinion, does not come out of that game. And you know that they're trying to take care of him and give the best chance to the Red Sox. And that is turning it over to the pen right now.
Well, now David Freese gets the at-bat against the right-hander. Time is called. We saw Max Muncy with a helmet on earlier. If there was a spot to hit Muncy, it would be right here. But Freese is 2 for 2 tonight. Muncy is still lurking 2 steps down in the Dodger dugout. Opportunity here for David Freese. And Barnes steps off.
I just think Dave Roberts loves the approach of David Freese. One of the best postseason hitters over his career, and he showed the ability to know how to handle the bat.
He's been a World Series MVP before, back in 2011. Good fastball at 96 for strike 1. This was not the type at bat Freese would remain in the game for during the NLCS. Getting a chance here in the 5th. The 0-1. Strike 2. Machado next. Crowd behind Barnes. This is a Red Sox bullpen that, like in the first 2 rounds of the postseason, has 2 starters down there for Alex Cora. Nathan Eovaldi and Rick Porcello. That's why he can go to Barnes this early in the game. In the 5th, 2 on, nobody out, 0-2. So it remains 0-2, and we'll give you a quick word from Duracell.
This is #1 trusted brand.
Freese looking for his 3rd hit.
Where Pierce is playing, it's going to be crucial for Justin Turner to get as big a jump as he can on anything hit slow, trying to get to second base quick enough.
Strikeout, out number 1. And the batter will be Machado.
This is just a wicked slider. Power slider off the 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Machado with an RBI single his last time up. Likes to hit in this park. Foul back. Matt Barnes, the right-hander for Boston, was in on that back and forth between Machado and the Red Sox last year. He threw at Machado behind his head 2 days after that slide into the knee of Dustin Pedroia. And here they are. 5th inning, 2 on, 1 out. That gets away, and the runners advance. And Sandy Leon, who is as good as there is in the American League at blocking balls in the dirt, couldn't keep it close, and it's a 1-1 count.
Yeah, the Dodgers were on the opposite side of this in their previous series. Milwaukee took advantage of these scenarios, advancing bases and scoring runs from runner on third. So the little things in the postseason end up becoming some of the biggest things that you can make happen. And now Machado, if he just grounds the ball to shortstop, the game is tied. So contact, that was the theme coming in. Can the Dodgers make contact with runners on base, less than 2 outs, with a run-scoring opportunity?
Muncy just came into the on-deck circle. Here's a 1-1 to Machado, and he goes after a high, hard one in 97. Strike 2.
So now he has to fight with 2 strikes in the zone. Keep from expanding the zone down. Where they've been able to get Machado to expand is breaking balls down over the plate. Look like they're going to be strikes. He swings at the top or at the top of the zone with a fastball higher than high. Let's see how disciplined he can be at the plate.
That is up the middle. A run scores. The game is tied, and Machado has his second RBI of the night. Dozier comes to the plate on an RBI ground out by Machado. And just by putting the ball in play, Manny Machado has evened the score.
Yeah, Henry made a mistake here. This is a breaking ball that stays in the zone. Manny Machado controls the strike zone. See how high that pitch is. And now with 2 strikes, knows that if he can go right up the middle, even though they're playing there, you've got to tie the game up before you go ahead. Everybody tries to make the go-ahead hit and wants to be the hero. It doesn't always work that way. And you can see how close that came to Hembree of getting hit.
Cody Bellinger now replaces Muncy. Muncy was never announced, so he's still on the bench. And with that RBI ground out, Bellinger comes off the bench to bat for Chris Taylor.
And see, that's the difference of Manny Machado from the start of the series against the Braves. I don't know if early on he was capable of that. He really has settled in and done a nice job of being able to make contact and drive in runs for the Dodgers.
Well, here's the NLCS MVP, and he made the most of his hits. Had the walk-off single in that 13-inning affair, Game 4, and the go-ahead home run in Game number 7. 2 of his 5 hits. Also made a great catch in right out in Dodger Stadium. Strike 1.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Bellinger to come in off the bench. Cold. See the numbers in the postseason.
Turner at third, 2 down, 0-1. Leon trying to frame it. A ball and a strike.
That's a great pitch, too, after getting the called strike on the breaking ball. This is where Bellinger got exposed last year in the World Series. He's made some nice adjustments. He's battled. A lot of strikeouts last year in the World Series against Houston.
17, a World Series record. That's inside. And you're talking about 17 strikeouts for a kid who just burst onto the big league scene and won the National League Rookie of the Year. Topping 39 home runs. He's talked about how he has been adjusting ever since this season started. Count in his favor, 2-1. Runner at third, 2 out. Bellinger flies one into right. Easy for Betts. And 1 run on the board for the Dodgers in what is now a 3-3 game. And now let's look at how T-Mobile and Team Rubicon work together to help those affected by natural disasters. Second base in this World Series, had 5 assists These guys can handle the outfield, a tricky outfield at Fenway. And they've got great arms on top of the great speed. Here is Betts. He takes a strike to begin the bottom of the 5th in a 3-3 game. Mookie singles, stole a base, scored a run in the 1st. Lays off ball 1.
Well, basically, because of this outfield, Joe, you have to have 2 center fielders, and that's exactly what the Red Sox have in Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. because of the configuration of Fenway Park.
It's not easy, and these young outfielders for the Dodgers, they started this game with no experience in a game in the outfield here at Fenway. Cody Bellinger stays in, plays center. And that moves Kike Hernandez over to left. Here's a 2-1 pitch. The only work these guys got was yesterday during the workout. Trying to read the ball off the green monster in left, and then those tricky angles in center and right. Betts with a count in his favor, 3-1. Full count.
Show you how rare that swing and miss for a strikeout against left-handers. He just doesn't do that on the year. Less than 11% of his swings and misses. And that's really tied for like the 3rd best. He really commands the strike zone.
3-2 from Kershaw. Tough play. That's a foul ball. Would have been brilliant by Turner, and he looks back at the 3rd base umpire and says, "You sure it's not fair, Tom?" They just made a heck of a play. He was sure.
Here's a look. Tell you what, I was with Turner thinking that was a fair ball as well. That ball looked like it was going to go left and actually came back over close to the bag with that spin.
Yeah, it hit and went over the base. Looked like a called foul. 3-2 pitch. That's definitely foul. Pitch number 77 coming for Clayton Kershaw. His counterpart, Chris Sale, got into this 5th inning, did not record an out. 3-2. Mookie finished 6th in the AL MVP voting a year ago. This year, he will finish 1st. Ryan Madsen starts to get loose. He walked him. That's laid off the pitch, and that is walk number 2. Handed out by Kershaw, and now Dave Roberts is wondering how much longer he goes with Kershaw. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Budweiser. Take some out to the ball game. Pretty good at bat there by Mookie Betts. Those foul balls left side, ends up drawing a walk.
Well, in the 1st inning on the first move, Mookie Betts took off. Kershaw basically leans and has a slide step. He doesn't have that prototypical left-handed kind of deception move where he hangs and either goes home or goes to 1st. He's going to go home pretty quickly. So Mookie read that, and on the very 1st pitch, took off.
That's in the air to left, a base hit. Hernandez with a good play to get over and cut it off, but it's 2 on with nobody out here in the 5th. Good jump by Hernandez. That ball gets to the wall. Betts is at least at 3rd, if not scoring.
And I'm not so sure that Dave Roberts might not make a move right here, but you mentioned it. A great play right here to prevent Mookie from going to 3rd. Dave's checking to see if Matson's ready. And he is going to make a move.
So these two celebrated left-handers, Sale and Kershaw, get into the 5th inning. And that'll be it for Kershaw as well. Leaves a tie game, but 2 on, nobody out for Boston. T-Mobile will donate another $2 to Team Rubicon. In Game 1 last year, Clayton Kershaw was brilliant. 11 strikeouts, 1 run on 3 hits through 7. Here's one that bounces in from Madsen. And the runners advance to 2nd and 3rd with nobody out on a wild pitch.
Well, Madsen is known for his changeup, and he spikes that changeup right away. And because the changeup has that spin, you rarely see it bounce that far in front of home plate.
Steve Pearce waits, takes, ball 2.
And what the Red Sox do is not only do they put pressure on your pitching staff, but your fielders, your catcher, and they're always an inning away from a crooked number, a big inning. And that's what the Dodgers are trying to avoid right here. They'll give up a run for an out.
3-0. On deck, J.D. Martinez, the DH. Bases loaded. How about some sounds of the game? First base coach Tom Goodwin talking to Andrew Benintendi.
This guy's got a filthy changeup.
This guy does?
Yeah, he throws just like a iron mic.
He's throwing harder now, though.
He knows 98.
98. Curveball.
Coach Sid against him in D.C.
Yeah. Was he throwing that then? He wasn't throwing that hard then, though, was he?
97.
Oh, okay. He was thinking of it.
You can hear Benintendi saying, I pinch hit against him in D.C. That's where Madsen started this season. Big in-season pickup by the Dodgers. Bases loaded, nobody out for J.D. Martinez in a tie game. Strike 1 is poured in at 95.
Again, we saw this last series where Madsen decided to go out of the windup with runners on, and the bases loaded, nobody out. Typically, you'd like to be out of the stretch. You want to keep everybody as close to the bag as possible to, A, turn a double play and not be an aggressive down the line on a pitch that gets away from the catcher, but he is much more comfortable out of the windup.
Strike 2.
Now here's the challenge for Madsen. I already told you his changeup is one of his best pitches. The changeup down against J.D. Martinez is the only way this right-handed pitcher can make him look foolish. But he spiked the first one that he threw. Really have the confidence and the touch to throw it at some point in this inning in a crucial situation.
Martinez 2 for 2. Struck him out. On 3 pitches, Ryan Madsen takes care of the Red Sox DH. 1 down.
Well, you can mark this one down. You're not going to see this very often. This is just basically fastball, go get it on the outer half. Then he goes inside for a swing and then follows it up with a higher fastball in the middle of the plate. And that just absolutely does not happen that often from J.D. Martinez.
Here's Xander Bogaerts, who's 0 for 2. The 25-year-old shortstop. The end of his best offensive season. 103 RBIs. The first pitch from Madsen. Blocked by Barnes.
Oh, what a play there for Barnes to get in front of that power breaking ball. Bogaerts has the benefactor since the All-Star break, seen more plate appearances with his teammates on base than anybody since the All-Star break.
The 1-0 is down and away, 2-0. Bogaerts with 3 grand slams in 2018. As the bases juiced with 1 out and a 2-0 count. Left side, Machado gets 1 and is safe. Red Sox lead 4-3. The legs of Xander Bogaerts down the line fast enough to give the Red Sox a 1-run lead.
This has been a teeter-totter game. Each team claws back, takes the lead, and then the turn and the stretch by Freese. The ball wasn't hit super hard, and everything looked clean right here. And the turn by Dozier, pretty simple, but you mentioned it. Bogaerts flying down the line.
He gets the RBI, his 6th of the postseason. Madsen thought they had turned it. They had not. Now runners at the corners with 2 out. And the batter is Devers.
This is where the Red Sox break your backs with 2-out hits. They did it against the Astros. They've been doing it all postseason. Just when you think you've wiggled out of a situation, they find a way to get a big hit.
That is blocked by Barnes. Another good job by the Dodger catcher. This saved a run.
Wow.
Just able to get the trap door down before that thing scooted to the backstop. Now Madsen calls Barnes out to talk. Here are the numbers this postseason: 6 for 19, a home run, 14 RBIs, with a runner on third and 2 out. The Red Sox this postseason. And as they visit on the mound, we'll give you a quick word from YouTube.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Frigid night at Fenway Park. That is a ground ball base hit by Devers. Benintendi scores, and it's 5-3 Red Sox in the 5th. Another 2-out base hit for an RBI for the Red Sox. The 21-year-old can hit.
Yes, he can, and they're relentless. They really are, and that's the byproduct of offensively all year. This is not a fluke.
Devers on base for the second time tonight. The lead is 2. All 5 runs charged to Kershaw. Kinsler, strike 1. Kershaw struck out Kinsler twice. He flies one into right. Puig with a late break, but he's there. to win the inning. But the Red Sox score 2. Lead by 2. 5-3 Boston after 5. 6th inning now in game 1. 2-run game. Red Sox lead 5-3. And the third pitcher of the night for Boston, Joe Kelly. Great numbers this postseason.
100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
And at 98, that's called ball 1. Kemp, Hernandez, Puig. That's down the right field line. Kemp fouls it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, the Dodgers hitters have done a nice job, considering this is really the first time they've dealt with the environment. I mean, the environment of cold weather, because they had a dome in Milwaukee, and of course in LA the weather's pretty good. So coming here, they were going to face the elements of this frigid temperature, and I thought they did a nice job of just battling so far against Chris Sale.
Well, the guys down in the dugout trying to stay warm. There's a heater down there. This is the coldest game the Dodgers have played in this season. I know that temperature reading is 53. I'm sitting in this, and I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like it's 53.
Much colder.
Started at 53. It's down to 48 as Kemp fouls it off to the right. A little bit different than game 1 of the World Series last year in LA when it was 103 degrees. These are the start time temperatures. Game 1 a year ago to tonight. But now we're in the 40s. Coldest game the Dodgers played this year, 2 58-degree games at San Francisco. That's outside, 2-2. Kemp has homered, bounced back to the pitcher. Matt Barnes, 1 inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Just got a piece. Live every World Series moment with MLB At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get all your Dodgers and Red Sox action. In-game video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, live radio feeds, and much more. Download MLB At Bat today. There's Julio Urias, the left-hander. Talks to Mark Cryer, bullpen coach for the Dodgers. The 2-2. Struck him out.
Nasty changeup after 98. Joe Kelly. It was an 87-mile-an-hour changeup. You see the grip, you see the spin on the baseball, and of course, the hitter can't recognize that coming out of his hand because it's the same delivery as a fastball.
Batter now, Kike Hernandez. Good pitch from Kelly, strike 1. Kelly was part of the trade, a big deal between the Cardinals and the Red Sox in July of 2014. He came to Boston with Alan Craig. John Lackey, the main player that went the other way. Hernandez fouls it out of play right side. Lackey had a couple of good years in St. Louis at low dollars. The only guy left standing in this deal is this right-hander who, as we've shown, can rush it up there in a hurry.
Yeah, he's done a nice job getting that power breaking ball in his arsenal because really velocity was his biggest asset. And he was hard on all the hitters, and eventually he struggled until he came up with that breaking ball and utilizing that changeup. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kelly.
Hey, Tom Verducci, little different approach tonight for Dave Roberts against the right-handers for Boston.
Absolutely. You know, after those two at-bats, you might be wondering why not get those lefty bats in there, Muncy and Peterson. But Joe Kelly, much tougher against left-handed hitters than against right. You see the splits right there. Certainly didn't look like it on those last two at-bats.
He struck out Kemp. He got Hernandez. He deals with Puig. He's better against right-handed pitching, Yasiel Puig. 100 on a cold night at Fenway.
Easy gas. Doesn't look like he exerts any kind of effort. The ball jumps on the hitter.
Yasmani Grandal on deck. 2 out in the inning. Long way to go in this one. We're in the 6th. Ball and a strike. Joe Kelly, by the way, has a ton of personality to go with a ton of velocity. Puig on 1-1. He could strike out the side here in the 6th inning of Game 1 of the World Series. That's at least 3 that I've seen hit triple digits as Urias tries to get loose on this chilly evening. Chop to first. Pierce to Kelly. Bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox coming to the plate, leading Game 1 by air on Fox at 7:30. And a travel day on Thursday. Weekend games in LA. Back here if necessary on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week for games 6 and 7. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. Julio Urias, the left-hander who's got a ton of talent coming off shoulder surgery. See what he's done this postseason, but that bottom line is what's most impressive. Only 3 games, 4 innings pitched as he worked his way back. Long road to recovery. Got to win in the NLCS. He has Leon locked up on that pitch. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and the amazing exterior of this young man doesn't look phased at all by the moment. You mentioned about those 3 appearances. He has something inside that the Dodgers love. If he stays physically able, watch the success he has for the Dodgers.
Good pitch down and in, and Leon is tagged out for out number 1. So Matson is finished after going 1 inning. He allowed 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1, threw a wild pitch. Kind of got things in motion, advanced the runners to 2nd and 3rd. Red Sox had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. Scored 2 runs, 1 on a force out at 2nd, and the other on a 2-out RBI hit by Devers. Here's Bradley.
If you're facing the Red Sox, you can't give them an extra out. You can't give them an inch. You got to make all the plays. They put pressure on you at the plate, on the base paths. And they've definitely taken advantage of every little opportunity that the Dodgers didn't get done. And that pressure is going to be throughout the series. It's going to take great pitching and execution on the part of the Dodgers.
They also have a first-year manager who is aggressive. If he sees a chance to get a win in a postseason game, he'll go get it. however he has to go get it, by using starters out of the bullpen, whatever. Pinch hitters, interesting pinch runners. He worries about tomorrow. It's been fun to watch. Here's a 2-0.
Well, and part of that, he knows that being at home and having 4 home games, they're more tailor-made for American League style baseball, of course, with the DH. And that presents a problem when he goes to the National League. Some decisions he's going to have to make. You know he wants J.D. Martinez in the lineup, so you would think he's going to play one of the outfield positions, which leaves the Red Sox having to take out one of their great outfielders, and it looks like it'd be this guy at the plate.
There's a strike 3-1. So Ryan Brazier getting loose, the right-hander in the pen.
Unless he does another unconventional thing and puts Mookie Betts at second base, who could handle that position, and therefore he gets his cake and eat it too.
He played 6 innings there earlier this year, second half of the season in August against the Yankees. That's fouled away, a full count. When you go around and talk to these Red Sox players, they all sing the praises of first-year manager Alex Cora, who was the bench coach for the Astros last year when they won it all. (3-2). He got him on the inside corner. 2 down.
Electric stuff and command, and I already said the composure of Urias and what he's able to do. He just paints the inside part. Even though he's trying to go away, he paints the inside part of the plate.
Well, for the Dodgers, Urias was an addition going into the NLCS. They keep him active for the World Series. They deactivate Caleb Ferguson and add Scott Alexander, the lefty, back to the active roster. That's outside for a ball to Mookie Betts. Alexander, the aforementioned left-hander, is getting loose. So right now it's 2 out, nobody on in the 6th. Betts. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the other thing that Alex Cora did right away from afar is he saw what the Houston Astros were able to expose against the Boston Red Sox, and he integrated that within their team by getting them to be a little more aggressive early in the count, especially Mookie Betts. He's taken too many passive strikes, but you could see obviously what Mookie Betts does with 2 strikes.
Had him leaning. Good pitch by Urias, and over to the right side for David Freese. Good inning for the young left-hander. 5-3 into the 7th in game 1. Good one at Fenway. Back after this from your local Fox station. 7th inning, Ryan Brazier, the right-hander, takes over. And Jock Peterson comes off the bench to bat. With the Dodgers down by 2. An ERA of 0 during the postseason. His 8th game. Saw that bottom line. Strong work during the regular year, and a strike to Peterson. We're underway in the 7th.
See what Peterson's done this postseason. For Alex Cora, he's found himself a miniature Craig Kimbrell, if you will. A guy that can come in, throw power, breaking ball, good fastball. And tough to hit.
Well, he's bounced back. He made a career-high 34 appearances this year for the Red Sox. In his first big league action since 2013 for the Angels. Has worked his way back. You see the velocity mid-90s there. And the count 0-2. There's the name Josh Hader. A name we said 1,652 times during the NLCS. One of 2 pitchers with no runs allowed in over 7 innings this postseason. Oh, 2 the count on Peterson, trying to get on. Max Muncy on deck. Hard hit right up the middle, staying down on it. Bogarts. 1 out. Good defensive positioning for Boston as Peterson shot that one right back up the middle. Hyunjin Ryu, the left-hander, who struggled in the NLCS, was good in the division series to take on David Price, who finally won a postseason game as a starter, and he was outstanding in the clinching Game 5 after working a ton in the bullpen late in the game the night before in Game 4 in Houston.
Yeah, that was amazing when you think about all he had to go through with all that he was dealing with and all the questions he had to answer about that lack of success. A tremendous game, and that game got the Boston Red Sox here in the World Series.
So now Muncy will hit. Fastball for a strike from Brazier.
Muncy also an incredible breakthrough year for the Dodgers. Had to deal with a little unconventional usage in NLCS, on the bench, off the bench. And now coming off the bench here, facing velocity.
He started the year in the minor league. He ended the year with the #1 home run rate in Major League Baseball. A home run every 11.3 times to the plate. He hit 35. Easily the biggest surprise player of 2018.
Yeah, unbelievable. And really, the Dodgers have had a couple years filled with guys that have turned around their career, changed their swing, changed their mindset, got their confidence back, and it showed statistically.
Crowd just reacted when Nathan Eovaldi got up out in the Red Sox bullpen. Muncy takes ball 1.
Well, what the Milwaukee Brewers did to the Dodgers served as a blueprint for success. If you can spin a breaking ball or you can hit with your secondary stuff, you're going to strike them out. But if you cannot and you rely on your fastball, even the high velocity, that is an advantage that the Dodgers possess. Brings in their power and brings in their ability to slug.
That's ball 2. Ken Rosenthal, give us more on Brazier.
Well, he's a fascinating story, sort of a pitching Max Muncy. Spent last season in Japan, was still without work in January when he visited Arizona to attend a friend's bachelor party, and he took time out to throw a bullpen session for about a half dozen clubs. The Red Sox liked what they saw, Joe, but they still waited until March 11th to sign him to a minor league contract. As he waited, Brazier pondered retirement, thinking he didn't want to go to an independent league, and look at him now.
See, honey, bachelor parties aren't all that bad. 2-2. Once he fouls it away.
Well, Alex Cora used him early in spring training, although be it spring training in a lot of late games, and he told the guys, wait till you see the guy we're calling up. And the stuff that he possesses, is he opened their eyes in spring training, of course, and he hasn't disappointed throughout the year.
Two great stories meeting here in Game 1. Top of the 7th. 5-3 Boston. 1 out. 2-2. That is left side, not a play. For all the good, Max Muncy had a tough time in the NLCS with his 13 strikeouts, an LCS record. So he is happy to flush that and start anew in the World Series.
And I think a lot of that had to do with just the kind of atypical way that the Brewers approached the Dodgers lineup, making Dave Roberts flip his lineup early in the game, not have any continuity to the at-bats, get guys off balance, and ultimately get into a Game 7 situation.
Turning in a good at-bat here as the count goes full 3-2.
Because when Muncy had consistency in the regular season, his approach, he did not expand the strike zone. He didn't miss his inner third pitch that he got. And in the postseason so far, he's expanded the strike zone, missing his pitches, fouling them back. And you could tell just a little bit different rhythm for a guy who is locked in, as you mentioned, a homer every 11 or so at-bats.
Hard hit, base hit as he gets it through the infield. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate with Justin Turner about to walk in. Coming up on Saturday, number 20 Wisconsin takes on Northwestern. Then Kyler Murray and number 8 Oklahoma battle K-State. The college football doubleheader kicks off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox, or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
Well, this is that pitch I was talking about that he rarely missed during the regular season. Watch this pitch, inner third, well, actually almost comes down the middle, and he beat the shift. He hit it so hard, each guy was looking at each other like, you got, no, I got, no, base hit.
1 on, 1 out for Turner. That's into center field. 2 on with 1 out. Back-to-back singles. And the Dodgers have the tying runs on here in the 7th. And that'll get a visit from the pitching coach, Dana Lavangi, with Eovaldi in the bullpen and Yasmani Grandal coming off the bench to bat for David Freese. So while they visit on the mound, a quick word from YouTube.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Well, the bench is empty for Dave Roberts as he uses Grandal here for David Freese.
Part of this conversation will be telling his pitcher how to attack the hitter, the situation, and if possible, if he gets into a head of the count, he wants to expand the zone up with fastballs. Grandal will chase the ball up, fastballs especially. And you see the numbers that he had in the previous postseason or up until this point. He's got a chance to kind of atone for what's really been a really tough postseason.
He has struggled defensively. It's a big reason why he has found his name off the starting lineup for the Dodgers here the last handful of games. Had a rough game 1 of the NLCS. 2 on, 1 out. Ball 1 down and in, blocked by Leon. You saw the runners left on. Overall 3 for 24 with 11 strikeouts for Grandal. And now Rodriguez and Eovaldi, lefty and a righty, are getting loose. Two on, 1 down, 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, 2-0, and who is sitting on deck? Manny Machado.
That was a great take and a frustrating take for Brazier, because when you come off the bench, you're thinking, okay, maybe I can get him aggressive down. He throws a great breaking ball that should have got a swing, but didn't. And now he's in control of the count, 2-0.
Switch hitting catcher waits. This is more powerful side. The count's 3-0. With a game on the line potentially here in the 7th inning, and Machado waiting to come up next, we could see Eovaldi here in the 7th. A lot depends on this. Grandal against Brazier. The 3-0. 3-1.
Now this is where the discipline of Grandal is going to have to come in. He's looking for one small area, one small coffee can spot in the strike zone. If he gets it, let it go. If he doesn't, meaning let it go and swing. If he doesn't, you've got to take, because you've got another pitch to play with.
Runners at first and second, 1 out. 3-1. That will load the bases for Machado. And now the focus switches into the other dugout.
Number 8, Manny Machado.
Alex Cora stays put. Manny Machado digs in. Base hit could tie it. Machado off the end of the bat into center. Jackie Bradley Jr. has it. Tagging the runner at third. Coming to the plate and safe is Muncy. It's a one-run game. And a 3 RBI night for Machado.
Well, he didn't hit it far enough to where Chris Woodward just had to be aggressive. This is one of the best arms the center fielder can have. Jackie Bradley Jr. And as soon as this ball was hit off the end of the bat, it was 50-50 distance-wise. But being down 2, worth every risk right here. And a calculated one by the Dodgers.
Chris Woodward, the third base coach, sent home Muncy. It's a one-run game. Here comes the left-hander, Eduardo Rodriguez, with 2 on, 2 out. Bellinger coming up. Plate, Muncy scored. It's a 5-4 game, and here is Eduardo Rodriguez, the lefty, to deal with Bellinger with runners at first and second, 2 out.
Well, he knows he's got one job to do, and that's get the left-hander out. And a big one here with 2 outs. Electric stuff as a starter. The other starters just rave about Rodriguez and his potential.
He misses down for ball 1 to Bellinger, who flied out in his only previous at bat. That came 2 innings ago. 27 appearances for Rodriguez, made 23 starts. Great numbers, 12-4 as a starter, ERA under 3.8. 2 on for Bellinger, who takes high 2-0.
Another good take. That's where Bellinger can expose himself. Up over the middle, fastball, aggressive swinging. Trying to lift the ball in the air.
Empty bench for Dave Roberts. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Bellinger skies one into shallow center. Bradley is there and has it to end the inning. The Dodgers get 1, leave 2, have stranded 7. Time to stretch here at Fenway. Out in front of him a moment ago. Hit a sac fly into center here at Fenway Park. It opened in 1912. In the history of this great venue, it's the oldest park in Major League Baseball, then Wrigley, then Dodger Stadium. Hosted 11 World Series. Seating capacity, it's the 4th smallest ballpark across the big leagues. Now I'm guessing there's more than 37,755 in the ballpark tonight. They have done such a good job, John, of squeezing as much as they can out of Fenway Park. It's just a great place to watch a game.
Yeah, they really have. And as a pitcher, when you come here, you have to pitch to the dimensions. That wall is a hitter's friend.
There's a lot going on here as Urias gets one past the bat of Andrew Benintendi, who went 3 for 3 against Clayton Kershaw. He's the only second left-hander to go 3 for 3 in a game against Kershaw, regular or postseason. That's how good Kershaw is against lefties. That's strike 2. The other to do it, Christian Yelich with Miami in June 3 years ago. So Benintendi's had a big night. Grandal stays in the ball game. He's behind the plate. Kike Hernandez is now on the infield playing second base. Peterson in the game. Jock Peterson out in left.
On the top of this order puts so much pressure, starting with Mookie Betts, and then you talked about Benintendi and his sweet swing. He won't hit as much power as his teammates will, but average is fantastic.
Pops it up, left side, long run. Peterson just into the game. Can't make the play. It's a double. The ball usually finds the new guy. And on a cold night, Jock Peterson could not get there. And that's going to be it for Urias. It'll go down as a double, most likely. Peterson just couldn't get there. It is a double and a 4-hit night in Game 1 of the World Series for young Andrew Benintendi as the Red Sox try to get that run right back. Pitching change with Pedro Baez taking over here in the 7th. Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley Jr. There are others. Those are all guys in the lineup here tonight as Pedro Baez, the right-hander, takes over for the Dodgers in the 7th. Benintendi with a 4-hit Game 1.
Baez has been really good for the Dodgers this postseason, and then Mitch Moreland comes in off the bench, and he has one thing and one thing only on his mind: pull the baseball.
Slowed down this postseason with a hamstring strain, and you wouldn't know it by that rip. 97 from Baez, strike 1. Moreland, a .245 hitter during the regular season, 15 home runs. Off to a good start this postseason. He's played big games in October's past with Texas. Here comes the 0-1 from Baez. Ball and a strike. Off the hands, that's strike 2.
Well, the scouting report on Mitch Moreland is he'll cover away, meaning pitches away he can get to. You can jam him in, pitch him up. He doesn't have a lot of hits up, and in this case, up would be much better than down. He likes the ball down, which allows him to pull the ball into the shift. And if he can pull the ball on the ground, that's going to be a runner on third and a sweet spot for the Dodgers, or the Red Sox. In this case, a mini shift, because with Benintendi on second, Turner has to protect for the stolen base. A lot of pressure on Turner if Benintendi decided he was going to go.
Struck him out. High heat at 97 from Baez.
Perfectly executed. Everybody gets the same information. You look at video, you know the weak spots, but the goal is to execute it under the gun, and that's exactly what Pedro Baez did. Needed the strikeout, got the strikeout, and just to the tee, executed.
Now J.D. Martinez.
And that's why that strikeout was so big, because the base is open, and you put him on base, and now you bring in the double play if you can entice it out of Bogaerts.
Bogaerts beat out a potential double play ball in the 5th inning against Ryan Madsen. He was safe by, I don't know, less than half a step. Not only did that drive in a run, but it led to Devers' RBI single through the right side with 2 out for another run, and that RBI by Rafael Devers, the 21, almost 22-year-old Dominican infielder, is the difference in the game, and there he is walking into the on-deck circle.
Even though there's been a few more strikeouts by the Red Sox than you anticipate, there's been a lot of action and a lot of execution. 17 hits, 9 runs in game 1, and less than ideal conditions for the hitters.
Second intentional pass handed to the Red Sox here in game 1. It's blocked by Grandal. I know we keep talking about it, but if you haven't watched this postseason on the NL side, Yasmani had a rough game 1 of the NLCS. A couple of errors, 3 passed balls. He's been off behind the plate, and that surprised Dave Roberts here in October. But he's in there now after pinch hitting and drawing a walk. Bogaerts right down the chute. Ball straight.
Yeah, and that can affect you as a player. Certainly defensively, you can get in a slump. Mentally, you lose focus a little bit, or confidence, and something came natural, because they relied on his offense from the catcher's position throughout the year. And there you see the chart. Looks like a quarterback used to wear on his wrist to see the plays. He's got his chart with all the information and all the numbers that these players are given through the course of the year.
A 1-1. 96 up around the letters. That's strike 2. Pedro Baez was left off the postseason roster a year ago. Watched with the rest of us, not this year. He is a trusted right-hander for Dave Roberts and trying to keep this a 1-run game. 2 on, 1 out. Got a piece. You know what Dave Roberts has done, we're talking about Alex Cora earlier, but Dave Roberts in his 3rd year, with all the information that comes to him from above, all the information that comes to him from below with the players, he tries to touch every one of his players every day. He manages people, he manages this diverse bench. It can come at you so many different ways. He has taken on the Red Sox, a vital part of their win in 04. Back-to-back World Series. 3 straight LCS appearances. He's done a brilliant job. 1-2. And Grandal can't handle that pitch. 2-2. See where this was. Split finger. Just clanked it a little bit. Kept it in front of him. Now a 2-2 from Baez. Struck him out. High heat took care of Moreland. The same for Bogaerts.
What a job by Pedro Baez. Looks like they're going to take him out. But he came in and he has struck out 2.
He's got magic clapping. He knows all about LA-Boston rivalries. Baseball, basketball, you name it. Pitching change as Wood, the lefty, is coming after this series. Follow MLB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Everybody's bundled up as Alex Wood takes over. Eduardo Nunez takes over at the plate. And a ball down and in. Nunez batting for Devers, who had a nice World Series debut. 1 for 2 with an RBI single with 2 out back in the 5th.
Alex Wood, real funky. You saw a slider right there. You'll see a changeup, fastball, but the slider to right-handers is a tough pitch for them to pick up. And Nunez, a good bad ball hitter off of left-handers.
That is hammered into left. It is gone. Pinch hit 3-run home run. Nunez. And the Red Sox open up game one. To 4 here in the seventh. Strike one on Kinsler.
Well, bad ball hitter and down and in, and he absolutely smoked it. And did somebody say it's 2 outs? Red Sox 2 outs? Another blow with 2 outs. And this one now a 4-run lead.
8-4 in the seventh as Kinsler pops it up right side. Hernandez has out number 3, but more 2-out damage. A run charge to Urias. A run to Baez. And it's Eduardo Nunez off the bench with some heat on a cold night at Fenway. 8-4 Boston. Parent to Derek Jeter's spot with the Yankees. Matt Kemp faces Nathan Eovaldi, takes a strike. Mitch Moreland stays in the game to play first. Nunez stays in to play third. And the 6th pitcher of the night for the Red Sox is the hard-throwing right-hander Nathan Eovaldi.
He's got some kind of arm, and certainly this is one of the sneakiest pickup late trade that the Red Sox pulled off, and he has been outstanding for them, especially in this postseason.
And this stuff has taken the next step.
It'll be a while to recover from his Tommy John, but whew.
Just firing seeds at 100, missing upstairs to Matt Kemp. President of Baseball Operations Dave Dombrowski. He has supported all this homegrown talent with the right guys to a 108 win regular season and leading tonight game 1 of the World Series. Here's first base coach Tom Goodwin on the home run by Nunez. That pitch misses to Hernandez. Ball 1. That hits the outside corner, a ball and a strike. You know, when you think about the bottom of the 7th inning, it's a 1-run game. Dave Roberts had called on Pedro Baez, who's been so good. 1 intentional walk, which was sandwiched by strikeouts of Moreland and Bogarts. And with Devers, the 21-year-old third baseman, coming up, Dave Roberts liked the matchup as he brought in the left-hander. Alex Cora went to his bench, called on Nunez, and Nunez won that battle. So these two managers who were teammates for 2.5 seasons with the Dodgers, matching wits. And Nunez won that battle against Alex Wood. 2-2. Full count.
The Dodgers have scored in 4 different innings, and Boston responded immediately in every one but one of those innings. As I talked about, the daggers that they throw at you late, 2 outs, big hits. It kind of saps your energy when you've been battling against their pitching staff, and this is the kind of series we're going to see. It's going to be competitive, but it's going to come down to execution. And right now, that's been a formula of success for Boston.
Chopped up the middle. Kinsler to his right. 2 out. Tom Verducci, this is something we talked about early with Eovaldi coming in here as Alex Cora is going for the throat in game 1.
Yeah, and Alex has actually used a starter out of the pen 5 times now in 10 postseason games. And this is something that he scripts. He actually has a name for this role. He calls it the Rover because he will drop these starters into a game anywhere from the 7th through the 9th inning. And Eovaldi certainly looks sharp right here, but Alex Cora goes into a game scripting that one of these starting pitchers will pitch out of the bullpen, and these guys buy in. They're down in that bullpen, Eovaldi and Porcello all game.
Puig, strike 1. You saw Craig Kimbrel, the closer for the Red Sox. This World Series features 2 really good right-handed closers in Kimbrel and Jansen.
Yeah, also what Alex Cora is banking on, that it works and that those starters won't be thrown off their game planning for their potential next start. So far, so good for the Red Sox.
Puig. Ball 1. Is that? Would you have liked that, John?
You know, it depends because of what you're trying to accomplish. Because in an inning like tonight, if it goes bad and you have to throw 30 pitches, it messes you up for your next one just from an effort. But at this point in the season, with where they're getting the buy-in, it certainly has been pretty good. You could say that Porcello's second start might have been a little affected. He wasn't as sharp in Houston. But a guy like Eovaldi who relies on just raw power, 20 pitches or less, it's no big deal.
Free agent to be. Start of the year in Tampa, Florida. That one is corralled by Leon, and the count evens 2-2. We go for 2 in this game 1 with a walk. Left side, tough play in the hole. Bogart's long throw, and he got it. And it is all on display tonight for Boston. Situational hitting, 2 out hitting, some power and some defense. 8-4 Red Sox. World Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox. Alex Wood delivers, and this ball is down the line foul off the bat of Sandy Leon, the number 8 hitter who's 1 for 3.
Ton of foul territory, as you can see in left field. Surprised that didn't work out.
Remember the rally, which ended up a 3-run rally last inning, started on that ball hit by Benintendi, which went for his 4th hit. But a little flare down the left field line that Jock Peterson got off the edge of his glove. It went for a double. Leon on 0-1 takes outside.
And that's the thing about this game. The Dodgers are going to look back if they don't rally, and they're going to say, oh, so close to a lot of things going their way, whether it was the pop-up that wasn't caught, the double plays that weren't turned, and the throw out of a would-be base stealer, the little blooper that was almost caught. That's the beauty of the World Series, and so many different things can turn when you're a really good offensive club. like the Boston Red Sox are, it doesn't matter how much hardware you have as a pitcher. The Cy Youngs that they went through already in this postseason speaks to how good they are.
One, two. Outside from Wood. Baez seemed to be rolling last inning. Lifted for Alex Wood. That forced the change to Nunez. And Nunez deposited the ball over the wall and left for a 3-run shot. Now Leon is on to lead off the 8th. His second hit of the night. Pitch, hit, and run is Major League Baseball's free skills competition. Boys and girls ages 7 to 14. Sign up now to host a free competition in your local community at pitchhitrun.com.
Never did pitch, hit, and run, but I did punt, pass, and kick.
As did your broadcast partner. Anything that didn't involve running, I was awesome at. Jackie Bradley Jr. went around, strike one. Jackie 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs, a strikeout. Craig Kimbrell is up. No real hurry to get loose yet. 4-run game. It's 8-4, and the bunt is foul.
I was waiting for it. I just don't understand it. Good try there by Jackie. I mean, you really only have to square around, and now with 2 strikes, it takes it completely out of play unless he wants to try it with 2 strikes, which doesn't happen. But you just square around, sacrifice, bunt it. There's a good chance it's first and second, and then, of course, you got Mookie Betts coming up.
Yeah, it becomes a hit. The left side of the infield wide open. But now an 0-2 count. Put a bill in Jackie Bradley Jr.'s locker for knocking out those lights on the auxiliary scoreboard. No, they won't. The 0-2 is down and away and blocked by Grandal with Leon, the runner at first, and nobody out. Now action starts for the Dodgers in their pen. Dylan Floro. And that's from Wood, and he tied him up. Good pitch by Alex Wood, down and in, 1 out. And before Mookie Betts, we'll give you a quick word from Bank of America.
You're all set. Your money has been transferred.
Get the play-by-play of your money with Erica, your virtual financial assistant.
Here's Betts on base twice. He's scored 2 runs. He has a hit and a stolen base. You used the word earlier in A.J. Hinch. The good manager of the Houston Astros said it at the end of their 5-game ALCS. He used the word relentless. That's outside, ball 1, and they just keep coming at you.
Well, again, another analogy. When you go pitch in Coors Field, the terminology is it's hard to get 3 outs because so many things. It's so much difficult to pitch in Coors Field. It makes the hitters that much better. That's what it feels like facing the Red Sox. It's hard to get 3 outs. 1, 2, 3 does not come that easy. And so with that comes the pressure on the pitcher, because this is what I love about the Red Sox. on the bases. You know, there's not stolen bases that much in baseball. They run. They create pressure on the bases. Defensively, they're built perfectly. And offensively, I don't think there's a better offensive club than what they're trying to do. Ball 2. And that comes from buying in, scouting, developing, starting in spring training, not asking players once the postseason comes around, go, hey, we need you to switch. We need you to be feisty with 2 strikes. They bought in.
Wood behind in the count 2-1. Check swing. He didn't go on the count 3-1. For the World Series Game 1s, 04, 07, 13 tonight. So whether it's Terry Francona managing, or John Farrell managing, or Alex Cora managing, they get off to good starts, and they've gone 12-2 over the 3 previous World Series. 6-1 here at Fenway, and coming in had outscored their opponents 48-19. There it is on your screen. Here's a 3-1. Betts takes strike 2. Woods, 3-2 pitches, strike 3 over the inside corner, 2 out. And that will bring in Mr. 4 for 4 in his first World Series game, Andrew Benintendi. And he went 3 for 3 off Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, that one's the benefactor right there. That was the notion you're going good tonight. And then he gets another one of those to fall in, and they look like line drives in the scorebook.
3 singles, that double off the glove of Peterson last inning. Ground ball to the right side. Benintendi has been retired, and that sends game 1 into the 9th inning. It remains 8-4 with Peterson, Muncy, and Turner being stopped. A little bit more than an hour before the scheduled first pitch. Craig Kimbrell comes into the ball game 5 for 5 in save opportunities, 42 of 47 for the regular season. Not a save chance here, but just in to get some work, and he deals 98 for a strike to Jock Peterson, 0 for 1.
And I think it's a big appearance for Craig's confidence in this series. He struggled a little bit in the previous series, and some people felt maybe he was tipping his pitches. Maybe Houston had something.
Peterson grounds right side. Play is made by Kinsler. 1 out.
And the reason I say it's important, it's not that the 4-run lead. It's just so that you can start commanding the respect of one of the best in the game, which he has been. Craig Kimbrell has been one of the best. Power fastball, power breaking ball, usually lights out.
The story was that Eric Gagne, longtime closer, longtime Dodger, texted Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, and said, your closer's tipping his pitches. And it had to do with where he was coming set. So he changed it up prior to the final game of the ALCS against Houston. They thought he looked better in that game. Alex Cora said, I was watching the Houston dugout when Kimbrell was warming up. He had a different look where his hands were coming set. So there was something to it. As Muncy is in the hole, 0-2.
Well, that's the biggest fear every pitcher goes through. You never want to give the hitter any kind of indicator of what's coming, because then they can sit and eliminate a pitch.
Muncy 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. And he pinch hit in the 7th. Post-game show is coming up after World Series Game 1 with our guys Kevin, A-Rod, Big Poppy, the Big Hurt.
I got to find a way to get the Big Hurt's jacket for tomorrow night. That looks warm.
I think we can both use it. Out there on Jersey Street, they're going to need as much warmth as they can get. Now Turner takes a strike. Turner, a 3-hit night, 3 for 4 in that number 2 spot. Manny Machado had a 3 RBI night, hoping to get one more plate appearance. If he does, something will be brewing here in the 9th inning for Dave Roberts' Dodgers. That is just poured in 98, strike 2.
Well, I'd say it's a little different. 7 pitches, 7 strikes.
Ball 1 up and in at 99 from Kimbrel. Midnight straight up. Tuesday turns to Wednesday. Later tonight, game 2. 1-2 pitch. Clayton Kershaw, who threw 15 pitches to get the final 3 outs in Milwaukee game 7, went 4+. Same for Chris Sale, 4+. 2-2. Full count. Dodgers need 3 base runners to have a chance, as this one missed outside.
Kimbrel does something so unique. He's looking to the third base dugout the entire time his delivery, and the last second is when he looks at home. Rarely do you see that, but it's worked for him.
That's down the right field line. I would imagine, John, and I don't know if you went through it as a pitcher, where teammates or the opposition said, hey, you're tipping your pitches, or word got back to you. But if that's the word that trickles back to a big league pitcher, it's got to get in your head somewhere. Like, am I doing it right? Are they looking at me? I would imagine that rattles you.
It does, but if you fix it, it's the greatest feeling in the world, because the last thing you want to do is be tipping your pitches, because, you know, big league hitters, they don't need that kind of advantage. They're going to have a lot of success if they get that. So it looks like that's an easy. His glove is quiet. It's down by his belt, and there's no variation whatsoever.
3-2. Off the hands. Good at bat by Turner, who's had that nice night at the plate. Boston got 2 in the first. Dodgers tied it in the top of the 3rd. Red Sox back on top in the bottom of the 3rd. Became a 3-3 game in the top of the 5th. 5-3 game bottom of the 5th. 5-4 until that guy. Eduardo Nunez hit a pinch hit 3-run home run to open it up, make it 8-4. Red Sox win game 1. In a 3-hour, 52-minute game. Matt Barnes gets the win. Clayton Kershaw goes to 9-9 in his career in the postseason. He gets the loss. Kimbrel gets the final 3 outs, but Boston Red Sox, with what they put on display here tonight, reminded everybody how they were able to win 108 games during the regular season.
I thought this was an action-packed game early. A lot of key moments that went the Red Sox way, and their theory and formula stays on point. When you think about how they score, when they score, and the daggers of those 2-out runs, when you're on the other side of it, it just feels worse. And when you're on that side of it, there's nothing that feels better. And David Price is going to have a 1-0 game lead going into his start.
It's a 4-run victory for the Red Sox, and their last 4 runs scored with 2 out. Let's go down to the field and Tom Verducci.
Thanks. Well, Andrew, you had 4 hits tonight. 3 off Clayton Kershaw, only the second lefty to do that against Kershaw. What was the key to the approach tonight against Kershaw?
You got to put an asterisk by a few of those. I got pretty lucky on a few, but we'll take it. We had a solid approach, I think, against him tonight, and for the most part, we executed what we were trying to do.
8 pitches into the game in game 1, you guys had a lead. It was Mookie Betts getting on, stealing, and you knocking him in. How important was it to get out of the gate like that?
It's huge, especially, against a guy like that and a team like that. So when we can, get on the board early and often, that's what we're trying to do, and we got a better shot of winning.
You put 16 runners on base tonight. The word relentless is used. How would you describe this offense?
Exactly that. I mean, up and down the lineup, it's not an easy out. We're going to grind out at bats, but we'll enjoy this one right now. We're going to focus on tomorrow now.
Andrew, thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you. He's just 24 years old and part of that good core of homegrown talent for the Boston Red Sox.